coach, ahead of the matchup. Any thoughts, your thoughts heading into the matchup this Saturday?
Well, a game that we're really looking forward to, no? Obviously, the last game, the result, it wasn't what we wanted, especially the second half performance. So sometimes when those things happen, it's better to get another game in as soon as possible. Obviously, it's been a very difficult week with, traveling, away games, difficult environments, but I think the team is responding really well for the majority of it. As I said, obviously, apart from the second half the other day. So yeah, looking forward. Washington is a great place to play. Fantastic environment, really good players, very good coaches. So yeah, we're really looking forward to the game.
All right, we'll start with Sean.
Coach, thank you for your time today. I hope all is well. In your last game, you came up with what was described numerous times on the broadcast as a historic 4-0 win, and then you came up against Portland, who hadn't won at home yet. Were you coming off of a high of the previous win? Was this possibly a trap game? Are there anything or things you could sort of pinpoint on it? And how do you look forward to rebounding this weekend?
Yeah, obviously, I think the games. This game is a game of details. I think the game in LA. I think we did an amazing work, and we took care also of the little details. And in the game in Portland, I think the first half was really, really good. Apart from the first 6-7 minutes, I think we dominated. We controlled the game. Unfortunately, there was an action there on a corner where probably a player from Portland should have been sent off and get a penalty, and then the game would have been completely different. But those are things that we can't control. And in the second half, I think after they were better than us, and they won the game. So I think sometimes for us it's about focusing on the processes. That's what we do, because we want to get. We focus in the process of how we play in every action of the game. Then the outcome is normally what we want. And I think sticking to who we are is the key. And the players have been fantastic. They've been pushing super hard. Obviously, we still have a lot of, a few players that are not available or in restricted minutes. And in these kind of weeks, people is really pushing to the limit. But, they've been fantastic. The environment is good. And a lot of credit needs to go to the players, because honestly, it's a tough stretch. 3 away games in a week. But I think the group is reacting really, really well, and are looking forward to this game tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Sean. We'll head over to Sandra.
Hi, Juan. Thank you for the time today. I wanted to ask you about the defense and the quick week that they're operating on too. I know the coaching staff has had a lot of challenges in trying to manage players and take care of them, and while also trying to game plan effectively. And so going up against another kind of, top team in the Spirit, how do you feel the defense looks heading into the game tomorrow?
Yeah, well, obviously, traditionally, we're a team that defend really well. I think taking away the second half the other day, I think our numbers were probably the best in the league in terms of the quality chances we were conceding, amount of shots that we were facing. Obviously, the second half the other day changed that dramatically, because we weren't good in that situation. But I think when we defend, we don't really talk only about the defense. We talk about the whole team, and I think that's very, very important. We take a lot of pride on our defending as a group. And I think so far the work, obviously through 5 or 6 games that we've played already, I think it's been really, really positive. I will take that. Like if I think we play 5 games. I'm right? 5? Okay.
Yes.
So I think 4.5 have been outstanding in the defending, and if we, half of it we are not as good, and we obviously got punished. I think I will take that throughout the year, but it's not a secret. Obviously, we've had to put like Neely to be there. We obviously lost Tierna, then we lost Mandy, and even if there is a lot of forwards on the bench, there is a lot of them that are on restricted minutes, which then is end up with obviously Bruna doing a lot of minutes on that forward line, which is, sometimes it's about moving pieces and trying to maximize the minutes and the efforts from everyone, because we always prioritize health and safety. But it's been challenging, but I think the team is reacting really well, and coming with all those situations, being able to, for example, to put that performance that we put in LA, where we got the biggest win away from home in the club history. And, I think Angel City had 0 shots on target throughout the game when they were, one of the unbeaten teams in the league and playing at home. I think, sometimes you need to look at the glass half full or half empty. We always try to look at it half full, no?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd like to have one more.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you need, Sandra.
Thanks, Juan. I appreciate you. Look, this morning there was some news about the NWSL submitting an application for a Division II league in the future. And I know with all your coaching experience, even before NWSL, I really wanted to get your thoughts on the concept of having a potential Division II league for NWSL and your opinions on, that as another opportunity for player development.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we definitely, as clubs at the forefront of the women's game in America, we need to take, because of the structures, how they are in this country, very different to Europe, where DFAs take a lot of responsibility within that, different layers of different levels, different, pyramids of competition. I think there is definitely a big gap that at the moment we need to feel. I think the structure is how it is very challenging. No, you could see, for example, a perfect example is we got a couple of injuries in the goalkeeper position, and obviously because of our roster and not having a B team, we almost have to ask Michelle Betos, who is a member of the staff now, to come back and play. Or you want to have young players and they have to be in the first team roster, but it's very difficult for them to get minutes, because if they're not in the first team roster, you cannot have them, or you cannot control or support their development. I think having a new structure, only time will tell if it's the right one or not. I think it requires a lot of investment and it requires a lot of effort from the clubs. But I think definitely trying to develop more the structure of the professional clubs, I think is very important. And obviously Gotham is one of those clubs that is supporting the initiative. So I think it is a very positive thing that we start creating something for sure.
All right, so yeah, bueno, gracias.
De nada.
Peyton?
Hi, Juan. Thanks for your time this afternoon.
You're welcome, Peyton.
Looking kind of at the stats, I'm sure you're well aware, but your team has 11 yellow cards at this point. I'm looking back at last year. You also led the league at the end of the season with 50 players received, or 50 yellow cards, sorry, not 50 players, 50 yellow cards accumulated over the course of the season. And looking kind of at the good behavior incentives that have been introduced, I was wondering if that's something that you're thinking about or that you see impacting your game plans moving towards kind of the middle or later edge of the season, or if that's something that would be potentially beneficial but isn't something that you're giving weight to at this point in time.
No, I think the incentive to play games without yellow cards, I think it is important. The referees, they try to do their job. There is some key moments that I think they probably, as I mentioned before, that could be slightly different in my opinion, but I can't control it. So, they have to do their job. We do ours. It's not something that we really look into. It's just part of the game. I just hope that, I think we've conceded already 2 penalties. We have no penalties on our side. I would like us to have the penalties for us instead of against us, but that's not for me to control it. So that's something that we have to, everyone has to do their job, and the referees are working really hard to be the best they can be, and we do the same. So, I think with the yellow cards, it's just, for me, something that it just happens. So.
Do you think that with the introduction of the incentive, with the ability to reduce yellow card count, that could make a difference as you get farther into the season, with the new rule about if a player goes 5 games consecutively without a yellow card, that their total count can be reduced?
Yeah, I think that can have an impact, maybe especially when you get closer to the final dates of the game. But at the moment, it's not something we are really looking into. I think we go game by game, and the players And as we are all, we don't really look into that too much at this point of the year. I think when it comes to the end of the year, everyone starts looking a lot more at those accumulations. So
Thank you very much.
yeah, welcome, Peyton.
All right, last call for questions. Sean, I see your hand is back up. I don't know if that's a continuing hand.
Yes, please. Thank you. Coach, similar to your team, your next opponent, the roster is dotted with both current and past national team players. What unique challenges do you feel that the Spirit bring to you that other teams don't? And I would think because they're making a big deal about the upper bowl of their stadium being open, that's a great thing for your team that more people are coming out to see this particular game. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I think Washington Spirit is, they obviously have also some players out, or they've had the last few weeks. I think but they still are one of the most organized teams in the league. So I think that it has to go a lot of credit to obviously the players, but then Jonathan, Adrian, and the people that is working behind the scenes, because they've been really good, and they're especially strong at home. We know that. Obviously, they got fantastic atmosphere. For us, it's a derby of the East Coast, no, and it's always an special game to play Washington. So we love to play in the best environments. I think Washington is at the moment when, the experiences we've had here, they've been amazing games, and the kind of games that we're all really looking forward to play, with 15, 20,000 plus people on the stands, where we won the women's game and women's soccer in America to keep driving. And I think all the clubs really are happy when we see other stadiums full. I think we are doing a fantastic job also at Gotham, where our attendances are growing exponentially season after season, and I think it's going to be a really enjoyable day. I think the weather should be nice, which is something that we've been missing, and I hope it's a great game for the fans, and in this case that Gotham gets the 3 points, of course.
All right, well, that will wrap it